Here's exactly what's going on with the brand new Forza Horizon 5 Series 43 update in terms of car releases, what we can kind of expect, new events and more. Now I actually made a video around 2 days ago with a list of around 10 new leaked cars that pretty much coincided very well with the release of this update. It wasn't so much focused on muscle cars, as like I always talk about with leaked cars videos, I'm not always talking about the next update exactly. I'll usually be talking more broadly about the coming months, what kind of cars we can expect, because as you guys would know if you've been following the scene in Forza for a while, when it comes to new cars that are leaked to the game, it often takes quite a few months for them to progressively get dropped into the game. One of them might be in the update 43, one of them might be 44, 3 of them might be update 45, they kind of get progressively drip fed into the game, and that's usually what you can kind of expect. So leaked cars was more from a long-term perspective and not so much about this update in particular, as that's what this video will be about. For example, if you're navigating to the festival playlist right now, you can enter coming soon and you can see Midnight Muscle. Now in the current Series 42 it was quite underwhelming based on the fact that developers put together 41 and 42 was kind of one large update, so to speak, as the developers and all of the Forza team generally take the Christmas break off. So there's only actually one new car in the whole Series 42 update, so we can expect 43 to come back with a little bit of a bang and get a lot of the newer player bases or the newer players that would have recently subscribed to the Xbox Game Pass or maybe got a new console for Christmas, they're now into Forza, to get them hooked or at least keep the hype going for Forza over this very busy period of the year. So festival playlist coming soon, you can see new cars, of course, start screen selector, extended nights and new events. Now usually these Horizon overviews have pretty standard information like new cars, new events and a couple other pretty broad and generic things. These two new items here we have, of course, start screen selector. Presumably you guys will be able to select the starting screen that is actually the loading screen for Forza or something similar like that. We also have extended nights. That's probably going to be the exact same as what we previously saw with Midnight Horizons. Nothing too crazy. I'm personally a huge fan of these, but it seems the community does like them a little bit, so fair enough, Forza are wanting to periodically bring it back to keep that kind of part of the community engaged. And then we of course got new cars. So new cars, Midnight Muscle. We of course know there will be some American muscle in that list, and let's go and get started on exactly what we can expect. So first off, a couple cars that are very likely to be released or similar cars along this sort of tone. 2024 Dodge Charger Daytona EV. Probably not the coolest Dodge they've ever released. I'm not a big fan of the EV cars in general from the Dodge lineup, although they definitely would be quick in a straight line, probably a lot quicker than some of the previous Dodges we've seen in a while. Next up we got the 2023 Dodge Demon SRT, and we also have the 2022 Dodge Charger Scat Pack. These are a couple Dodges that actually aren't electric unlike the first option, and we generally haven't seen too many new Dodges added to the game in quite a while. If you look at the current sort of overview of cars in the game and head to the car collection, and you guys can see what every car in the game, and you can check out my channel for more information on exactly how that's possible, but pretty much all of these Dodges aren't too new to the game. We have some of the OG exclusive ones. We got a 2015 Challenger SRT Hellcat, then the other new ones is the 2018, then we just have the 2021 Durango SRT Hellcat as the quickest, or the newest one, sorry. We haven't had a recent Demon, we haven't had a Dodge Charger Scat Pack really at all in the game, so to speak, so it'll be cool to get kind of a few new options here from that Dodge lineup, and what better opportunity presents itself than a Midnight Muscle. So we can assume this will be a kind of event where it's dark all the times, extended nights, as is evidenced by the actual event itself with a lot of muscle cars. And next up we got the Cadillac Escalade V. This will be a very cool car to add. Now it's not so much a muscle car as seen as some of the more drag oriented Dodges, but it could still most definitely fall under this list. Next up we got the 3V Mustang, as well as the Catfish Camaro. These ones are a little bit of older cars, still some pretty cool ones as well as the Camaro IROC Z to return to the game. We've previously seen this in Forza before, but yet to be added to Horizon 5. This would be a car I'd be pretty happy to see recycled for the purpose of this update, as I think it would genuinely be pretty cool to see this car driving around Mexico. Then next up is a couple other options. We actually have the Hennessy Venom 1200 Mustang. The reason why this car is interesting is because there was actually a leaked poll the Hennessy posted on their own YouTube account talking about what cars had already been added in Horizon 5. Now if you haven't seen it, most of you probably wouldn't have. To summarize it, they put 3 cars, 2 of those had already been added to the game, Hennessy cars we've seen before in Forza, but the third one they listed the Hennessy Venom 1200 Mustang, and they were claiming it had been added to the game, but it actually hadn't. So it seems that Hennessy under the assumption this car is in the game, or at least they're thinking it would be added to the game. Sometimes these manufacturers do this to kind of build a bit of hype into it. They'll subtly refer to a car of theirs has been approved for licensing in the game, and that's probably what has happened here. This car is recently approved, licensing and the physics have been made for the car, and they're kind of getting a bit of traction for it, because on the manufacturer perspective, they've done their due diligence and applied for the car to be put in the game. Now it's simply up to Forza to determine when they'll release it. So in this perspective, it makes sense. They're building a bit of hype towards it. They're claiming they've added this car, given it to Forza. Now we'll just have to see when it comes in the the game, and honestly, this update will be a very good kind of time to release a car like that. Another one on this list is going to be the Ram 1500 TRX. This would be a pretty crazy car. Now, of course, there won't be as many as I've listed off in this video. I've listed off nearly 10 cars. There'll probably only be 4 to 5. I'm giving a decent indication as to what we could expect, and I'll, of course, come out with more information videos on what exactly these cars are once they're officially determined, and, of course, how you guys can unlock them. Now, one thing to also keep in mind on your radar is there'll definitely be a new update coming out soon around May, I would assume, around the 20th anniversary of Forza. The first Forza game ever came out on May or early May in 2005, which is about to be 20 years old or 20 years ago, and there'll most definitely be some sort of collaboration or correspondence in regard to that 20-year anniversary, whether it'll be a bigger update or a throwback update, the first Horizon Motorsport or the Forza Motorsport game that ever came out, and maybe some cool new cars to give us a little bit of a throwback for those who have been around a few Forza games for a while, or even maybe for the very rare or select few of the people who have been around since that 2005 landmark for some of the old heads. So of course, guys, hope you all did enjoy this video. Like and subscribe, and comment down below what your thoughts are on Series 43 and what cars you want to see in the Midnight Muscle lineup.